Brick City, an SA1 hack. 36 exit, 38 exits in. Let's pick some random one to do, such as the Florists Dream. No spin jump in the garden, thank you. I was about to spin jump, so it's good that it told me. Trying to figure out if those ones in the background are real or not. They look like they could just be layer 2 nonsense. Well, he said no spin jumping in the garden, please, and then I spun jump and it was fine. Oh, those are real. Yeah, I do think you're supposed to spin. Oh, well, that's why you're not supposed to spin jump in the garden. Huh. That's why it didn't matter, because I was small. Oh, ugh. Yeah, it happens everywhere. Okay. So we've answered an important question. I've also been given a mushroom at the start, which very likely means I need to keep that mushroom. It's a very tight... Okay, wait a second. What if instead... What? Oh. Does everything just kill me? That one's on me. Alright, well, we'll keep going forward. I do feel like at some point you have to spin jump. But I'm not sure. Yeah, those are real. For the vine. The vines kill you. Okay, also important to learn. So I guess that is the most reasonable path I've found so far. And square up here. And don't get hit by that stuff. It's annoying I have to wait a whole cycle here to make a safe jump, but it's better than throwing myself away at the problem. I hope this level's not very long. Very yellow. Almost a Lucy yellow. Okay. Okay, yeah, alright. I could have spun jumped, I guess. Or not? Wait, what? I died. What happened? I didn't see. Guess I need to be big at the end of this. Maybe. We'll try. Yeah, I guess that's probably the smartest move, just to wait. I feel like this is a very I want to be the guy kind of level. You're doing some very, like, precise jumps in between things that immediately kill you. Just wait. We're not in any big hurry, I suppose. Really wish that didn't happen every single time I spawned. Okay. There we go. Anyway. Maybe they only saw if you have a shroom. That's absolutely the case. It's absolutely the case they only saw it if you have a shroom. The thing is, I reached the end of the level without a shroom and died. Therefore, my assumption is that you need the shroom at the end of the level, or I was otherwise bamboozled by the ending. So... large number of these jumps are just worth practicing without worrying about the actual constraints. I'm just gonna walk Are those like big only standing blocks? Is that what I'm looking at here? I don't know. I still think that emote looks nothing like Caitlyn from League of Legends. Even having seen, like, the new fancy animation thing. You just... Kate without her hat doesn't look like Kate. It's just how it is. Moderating Pokemon tomorrow? Blaziken has good art, but at the end of the day, he's just kind of a dumb chicken, man. No, Nose Pass is the one I find the most unfortunate. It's a friggin' nose. But I do have a soft spot for Bidoof. How you doing, God of Worst? Yeah, today I am almost done with CLDC. Got like 3 things left to do. So I'm... Either this kills me or it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't kill me. Other one want to find out? We found out. We have found out. I don't know if I want to do a palace yet. Let's just clear out the rest of the map, then we'll do that. What am I looking at here? Well, it's an auto-scroller. It has Donkey Kong Country music. Ah, oh, no, thank you. Double hit. What's up, Mayro? How you doing? Ugh. Anyway, CLDC almost done. I've got maybe 2 more major things to write. Oh, it's a football. All the video stuff is done. I just need to rework my script that I used last time for this to make the HTML page. Because I usually just kind of copy and paste the thing, I'm going to be honest. Once you've done it once, there's no real reason to rewrite the whole thing again. At least I think so. I hope I still... Oh, that was the end of the level. What's up, Groovy Gadget? I also did see that there was a group of the, like, SGQ peeps and other good peeps doing an async archipelago this weekend. I'm vaguely tempted to try again, but I keep looking at the list and like, what would I play? That's always my problem with archipelago, is like, what would I play? And like, I don't have a lot of good they don't have a lot of good games I know. I guess that's the way to phrase it. And I'm not trying Shivers again. That was a terrible idea. There we go. Bored waiting for your drive to repartition? Drive repartitioning. That takes time? That shouldn't. Are you on Linux? Doing good? Gonna play a Randall later? Nice. Save. We're up to 40. Yeah, the only, like, oh, no. Archipelago things I've actually tried, aside from, like, the silly ones. Oh, even then, the silly ones. I did Arc Idol and Minesweeper, which was fun. Or, sorry, Check Finder. I feel like this guy speeds up. I don't like this guy. Like, he has behavior that doesn't seem right. Oh, I'm not dead somehow. Not gonna get to hold on to that. Dang it. What's up, Boosius? Just got out of the shower? Nice. It takes time. You do it with data on. Thank you for the good luck. Dual host booting, so yes. Ah, okay. The funny thing is oftentimes with a lot of file system operations, like, you're not really moving data around, so it shouldn't take time. Like, ideally, repartitioning a drive should take all of the time it takes to write out the new partition scheme to where it needs to be read. At least that was what I remember how NTFS did it. I don't know how any other ones do it. Ugh. I don't like you, fish on a bullet. He needs a name. Low-key, one of my favorite kinda dumb Taskmaster tasks was give yourself a nickname, but only because of two of the nicknames. One of which was Chain Bastard, which was pretty good, but paled in comparison to the genius of Dr. Cigarettes. The smoking kills, and so does he. Would have been nice if they had to do something with the nickname afterwards, but they didn't really. I think the woman who chose Chain Bastard did do a little skit with her name, which was mostly just an excuse to chain up Alex. But hey, you know, part of the game of Taskmaster. Originally gave Linux 24 gig of its own. It leeches off Windows drive, but you're giving 40 so you can keep more swap. Ah, nice. It's Torpedo Fish. You're free to like the fish. I am not. He has like the hitbox. Hitbox, more like shitbox. Anyway, yeah, OLDC mostly done. Spent some time cleaning. My entryway is the cleanest it's been in a while because tomorrow is fire alarm testing day. One of my least favorite things about living here is the fire alarm testing day. I swear, I never had this in other places. We can try holding run here. Oh, hello! Yeah, I was playing under normal rules. No wonder this was hard. Yeah, you might want to note that if there's a 2.0 or a point release. Because, like, yeah, I can outswim the dolphin. I can just... Because now I can just outswim him. Okay, mostly outswimming. Because I think his top speed is equivalent to mine, so if I don't ever slow down... Or nuts to that mushroom. Okay, fine, that's... At some point you have to navigate things. This hasn't been true for, like, all of the water levels, and I've just been missing out on a very useful ability, has it? Yeah, really all getting the mushroom does is it doubles my hit size. Going to speed swim in the first... I don't think I've a speed swum. Well, that was brilliant. Oh, hey. Ended level. Hey, cat! Cat get. Yo, cat. Oh, yeah. That also reminds me. I'm looking at chat, and that's gonna save that, and we'll have completed a submap. Let's go complete the submap completely. Yeah, it was a lot easier once I learned you could run. Playing Toro with that guy was pretty not trivial. Alright, let's see what the Cyan Lunar Palace does. Okay, good. This... Wait, I'm on the wrong side of the cut. Alright. Ow. Ow. So I was thinking about... I got this YouTube message about how when I was playing a 16:9 game, there's no chat on screen. I'm like, you know, I should be able to do something with that. So I thought about it, and I remembered that I actually did implement Not any floating munchers battle level. You know, it's funny. I don't think I've ever actually rejected a hack completely just for floating munchers. To be fair, typically floating munchers are generally just a heuristic for lack of care and concern. But these clearly aren't floating, they're anchored to things, so... All's good. Basically, it's a Timmy's first hack kind of objection, as opposed to a, like, Team Jank or Jump Team decides to make a god-awful looking floating muncher level. And I'm gonna be honest, I still don't love the garbage aesthetic that some people have embraced a little bit too. Kinda too much, in my opinion. But I think I'm outruled on the team. Was Parrot like cut off? Yeah. General first hack kind of vibe. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. So chat thing. Here was the thing. When I wrote the chat client to the right, I actually wrote two. I wrote another one, and I showed it off to a couple people and asked which one's better. And generally speaking, people liked this one better. But for purposes of 16:9-ness, I realized the old one actually might work better. Because I was like, you know, I kind of want to just like have it fade from the screen, but I want there to be some delineation. I want this to be visible for a bit, but not for too long. And I think I can just take the old one and make the background transparent, and it will just work. Like, the code probably hasn't rotted that much, mostly because I abstracted all of the chat stuff to a different file forever ago. So I think it would work. I might give it a shot tomorrow if I find myself with enough free time. I want to get my preliminary CLDC notes completely done. I want to have those turned in tomorrow. Because I am doing stuff Saturday. Gonna go out drinking with Fiskbit for a bit. Dang it. Which sounds like we're gonna, like, go and hang out, like, multiple dive bars. And no, we're just gonna go to a specific distillery, try some of their newer whiskeys. There's one I didn't get to try yet, because I was out and about. I like the layout that makes 16:9 smaller around a border, because nothing's getting not cut off and you can make a pre-lap. You know, I can appreciate that, but, like, I don't know what I'd put there. It's kind of the problem, is, like, my only 16:9 layout that isn't the game is basically the silly ad thing. And so it shrinks it a bit. I like seeing the full game. In the case of a game like Pokemon or something, I think that there are specific locations on the screen that are less valuable real estate that I could fill out for a few seconds. That's probably fine. Like I said, this is more of a, I haven't considered it yet, all of it yet. Sup, Curtis? Did you say you entered the CLDC contest? Because if you did, I think I may have guessed what level is yours. Not that I want that information, but I think I might have guessed. But yeah, maybe I'll figure out something someday. It's the kind of thing, when you're not a face cam person, or a VTuber, or a pinch tuber, or whatever tuber. You did not. Someone did. Else was in chat saying they did one. Basically, it was the one that was like what I thought OLDC was. And I swear it's someone in my chat who made it. Like someone who has been in my chat perennially. Because of the combination of things. The PLDC stands for pinball was almost a bit too on the nose to me. But it's possible it's just some other random person. I don't know. It's gonna bug me until I actually look at the list. And if I'm turning in my preliminary list tomorrow, which basically means I'm done assigning points, I'll probably look at the list tomorrow and see who made that, out of curiosity. Daizo, no, I know what level Daizo made, because Daizo put his name on it. And even if Daizo hadn't put his name on it, Daizo put his voice in it. And even if Daizo hadn't put his voice in it, it was a Daizo level. Like, unless Daizo goes out of his own way to disguise his personal SMW hacking voice, it's pretty dang obvious when Daizo makes a level. Like, his was, let's go find the green switch. Especially because I knew that he's doing, you know, all four of them. And then presumably some sort of Omni hack that's going to make it even more ridiculous at the end of it all. Who knows, maybe he'll do that for 72-hour QLDC. Which is coming up. Real voice or literary voice? In the case of that, yes. Daizo's quite adept at sampling for the purposes of music stuff. Or at least likes to sample a whole lot for various purposes, which is something not a lot of people do. Mostly because the SNES sound chip isn't great for samples. It doesn't have that much RAM in it, and samples can take up a lot of space depending upon various things that would require more effort for me to understand than I presently do. Okay, let's not die here. So, like Barb's room? Yes, like Barb's room. Like, get out of my room. Except in the case of Daizo, it often is him singing. I'm gonna pause. I wanted to re-grab. And then let him go. There we go. ARAM is tight. Yup. Was that a midway? Oh, it was. Okay. No! The power of the switch you have pressed will release moons all over Freak City. Oh no. What does that mean? Have I been missing out on moons because I didn't immediately rush over here? No! Wait, so is that how all of these work? I should go get all of these now, because I want moons. Purely optional. Would know SMB CD uses samples while graphics and have the samples loaded in and out per level. I mean, if it tracks them, maybe. If not, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I mean, in the case of SMB CD, you also get the useful thing that is MSU1, so you can actually play samples. It does not. Wait. It does not what? It doesn't track moons? Okay. Oh, those exist regardless. Okay, that's good to know. Every level is just going to be needle muncher jumping. Just for a little bit. Oh, I thought those were going to be... I was briefly terrified. I thought those were going to home. Okay. Yeah, I remember reading, when I read the initial description about moons, I was surprised at how few I saw. I was like, huh, that's weird. And now I know. Typically, I do try to get all moons and dragon coins when applicable. I'll think about this. And jump on baseballs. What was I talking about before I got distracted? Probably doesn't matter. You're not wrong. This is your first It is true. How you doing, Kappa? Very late in development, you made them unlockable. Only 2 levels have non-switch moons. That does explain things. Oh, God. I think if I'd known that, I would have beelined for the switches. As it is, I'm halfway through. Makes it a lot harder to justify going back. But we'll see. Well, I didn't mean to do that. But for the time being, I guess we're going to rush the switches so that we can have access to moons. Anyway, what I'll probably do when it comes to the chat thing is post a clip of it working in Discord or something. Because I think it'll take me about maybe 20 minutes to get it into and looking like it's going to look on stream. Because really it's just a matter of like removing the background and messing around a little bit with the stuff's CSS. Basically, I'm not a tremendous CSS nerd, so I don't actually know how to do things like that all the time, like Ampersand is. Friggin' nerd of CSS that Ampersand is. But yeah, like some sort of basic CSS animation thing to fade it out. I think it'll look okay. And I might add some things to it, embellishments, because there were like some ideas I had that didn't quite make the cut. Because, again, this was an abandoned project. There we go. Over one. All. What is CSS? Cascading Style Sheets. It was developed as a way to make it so your website would look consistent across multiple pages without including the exact same styling information on every single page. Instead, you had a link to the specific style you were going to use. This was introduced in some early version of Netscape Navigator. Most people regard this as something of a mistake. Where am I now? Alright, so I found one of the buttons. So what makes web pages look pretty? The thing is, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think web pages can be pretty without CSS. It just is a different way of doing things. How about here? Okay, yeah, this is one. 2 out of 3? Okay, well that's good to know. I was wondering where the fourth might be. Okay, can I fast swim? I can fast swim. Casio water. Understood. The thing is, I suspect there is prior art to Casio water, but I don't know what it is. This actually came up last time the 72-hour QLDC was in town. So I think it was 72-hour QLDC. There was a level that used Casio water that was annoying. Or no, it used the Wyatt wall. That was it. Okay, and I don't know if that has prior art either. But yeah, there was a level that used the Wyatt wall, and I'm like, after playing it, basically one of my notes was, I think I spent more time playing this than you did making it, which is never a good sign. The ratio of effort when making something to how long it should take to do is usually lopsided in the other direction. Respect Casio, but you can never play that. Yeah, me. Well, I have technically beaten Omega Fennel in a very loose technical sense. Okay, up. It was kind of mean. I don't remember if that actually made the final cut. But I think I left it in there because the level was basically nothing. It was not great. Like, in general, I don't want to disparage people because, like, putting your levels out there can be difficult. But sometimes sometimes you're mean. Sometimes you're median. Sometimes you're mode. On the end, people definitely play Tetris way longer took to make. I mean, Tetris is a different thing. Tetris is a single experience, if that makes sense. Like, Tetris is a great number of things. I think we're talking about, like, adventure games or platformers. We're looking at a different time scale compared to a repeatable puzzle game. And you are absolutely right. Like, people have definitely enjoyed lifetimes of Tetris. But when it comes to level design things, like, if you make your thing in 5 minutes, it's probably not going to be good. It took Alexi some amount of time. Alexi, as if I'm on a first-name basis with the guy who made Tetris. I forgot the rest of his name. He's made other games, but, like, none of them ever quite took off the way Tetris did. Let's be honest with ourselves. I rather did like Pandora's Box. It was like a Windows 98-ish era puzzle game. Mostly focused on, like, using texture mapping onto surfaces and other sort of jigsaw puzzle constructs. It's actually quite good. I'm a bit surprised. I don't know. It probably would have done okay on other platforms or something. It's the kind of thing that I suspect if they ported it over to, like, the Switch, sold it for $10, they wouldn't be able to turn a quick profit. But since it's Microsoft, why would they bother? I like the fakey accordion in this. Pajinov, thank you. Need an icon or something to those people on Twitch not to take you seriously. It's fair. Again, my comment was a little mean. I have no qualms against that. But I do try to avoid mean comments in these things. Because, like, again, like, it's hard to put your work out there. And frankly speaking, I'd still rather have someone disparage my work than completely ignore me. But even then, it's not ideal. Let's not denigrate people for the sake of denigration. What's up, Matt? How you doing? Super Sponge has awesome music for a bad game. I don't think I've ever played Super Sponge. Made the most popular game of all time. Was it done recently? Well, that's the thing, right? Like, he didn't really make any money off Tetris. The Soviet Union did. My understanding is he basically got robbed. So I don't know if he's subsequently made money from the Tetris company and things, but, like, it is a legitimate question. Like, well, what's he done lately? When we're talking about creatives, then you don't get to rest on your laurels forever. Unless you're dead, in which case you do. Or you get to rest on other things instead of laurels, like sunflowers, like Van Gogh does. Or lilies. I'd rather do, like, water lilies. Okay, we're back here. Plug in for the hell of it, going back to sleep. Alright, sleep well, Matt. See you tomorrow, bright and possibly early for the Pokemons. Dang it. Not dang it about Pokemons, just dang it in general. Anyway, 72-hour QLDC should be fun. I'm definitely going to play a bunch of the levels. There's no question about that. I love me some QLDC. And last 72-hour one actually did produce some really good stuff, even within the shorter time frame. Like, it's amazing how well it works as a contest, regardless of time frame and general scope. Because, like, you've got, obviously the original, which is like a month-long contest. And yes, Max, we're counting bad level design. We're ignoring bad level design contest. Have I finished judging? Mostly. I have about 2 tasks left to do. I need to fix up a couple write-ups that need some fixing. Do a full editing pass. Convert the TXT document into the enhanced HTML document, which will be in a different directory, not the obvious one because of obvious reasons. And then extract some of that data, send to Java Brew so he can tabulate it up proper. Because I don't want him to have to extract it. Ampersand ran into some problems last QLDC, where, like, my data wasn't clear what I wanted to do, and I don't want to have a repeat of that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I do have to go through that. But can I get in this pipe? Is that an option? Yes, it is. It's more than 2 tasks. Play it, but with what goal? Play what thing? Got a cool idea for QLDC as I goes? Yeah. Good question, Max. Good question. But we have the Lunar magic. The power of the switch I pressed will release moons all over Freak City. And Quack Jam produced some really great stuff, too. Even if I didn't love some of it. Well, I guess we could clear this area. Why not? Go to sleep. Alright, sleep well, Matt. Oh yeah, these things are really annoying. Man, I've not seen these suckers in a long time. I think the last time I saw them was in a hack I was moderating. You can kill them. Sometimes. I don't remember how. Hey. Ah, see, I got one. Got one. Not that it matters, they respawn at a ridiculous rate. Hey, I got one! Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna be happy every time I get one. Okay. There's a moon! Ah, no, no! I thought that was a solid wall. Notice little faces instead of score. Thought it was cute, especially since score doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. Level that might be insane, I assure you it is entirely intentional. Fascinating. I did notice little faces. They're cute. Super Mario G-Shock? What? What? What is a Super Mario G-Shock? What? I don't think I've ever talked about Super Mario G-Shock. I do not know what that is, or if I did, I don't remember. I assume you're talking about someone else, not me, because I do not. It does not ring a bell. Oh god! Thank goodness there was floor there. Oh, the Casio. Okay. Yeah, Casio I understand. I did beat I technically did kind of, sort of, almost kind of, but not in any way that actually matters. Beat Omega Fennel. I also played the game. Sup, Breads? How you doing? Where was I with that train of thought? I beat Omega Fennel. I also played the game Fennel was from, a little Metroidvania game that was quite cute. You turn into a cat. That's your version of Metroid Crawl in that one. Which I greatly appreciate. Okay. I wanted to be playing Toho. I could have been playing Toho. I pretty much had this evening free to do whatever I wanted. In terms of stream stuff. I could have done another Slay the Toho run, but... not today. I was reading their update list. In addition to having cards done... having at least a card done in collab with the Cherno Maze game. There's something else in there of interest. Like, they added support for mod loading, which is fascinating to me. No, I don't need to go fast. I need to go slow. Dang it! Well, I got the moon at least. It happens. There are 2 Momo songs in this hack. Oh, interesting. Momodora, yes! That was the name of it. Yeah, Momodora was fun. Fennel is a lot harder in Casio than she is in Momodora. In Momodora, she's like the second or third boss you face. She's not terribly difficult. Like, I legitimately, going into that, assumed that she was some kind of, like, wacky super boss that you would only face at the end after you 100%ed the game or something. But, nope. The moons respawn? Oh. Huh. Well, if they respawn, then I think I don't care. So they're map 16 moons as opposed to object moons. Which makes a difference if you understand Lunar Magic internals. But I wanted the moon. But I want a pickle. No, you need to let go of the pickle. But I want a pickle. Dang it. Auto-scrollers are anti-Sonic, but Sonic frequently has auto-scrollers. Like, Wing Fortress Zone? Like, what was that one from Sonic 2 that was a long auto-scroller? Even the first game had an auto... Was there an auto-scroller in, the water level? Marble Palace or whatever? Shows you how last time I played Sonic 1. Sonic is the auto-scroller. The auto-scroller is in your mind. Now, Sonic's fine. These sprites, little Sonic ones, the Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, are so good. They're so very well done. Kisamochi, I think, made them. They've been on SMW Central for a very long time. Like, you would have thought that maybe they were newish, but no. Yeah, Marble Zone, I think is what I'm thinking of. Or maybe Labyrinth Zone? No, not Labyrinth Zone. Just need to focus and finish the level. I always thought the sprite was cute. Is that the one where you spin around the air currents? That's Marble Garden, is the one where you spin around using the tops. No, I think the one where quite literally, like, Tails flies a plane and you stand on the plane. And that's the entirety of the level. Like, Flying Wing Zone? I don't know. Sonic 2 had a rough ending, right? Because, like, you had to do the long auto-scroller, and then the Robotnik fight where you get, like, one ring. But you also have to fight... You have to refight Metal Sonic every time, don't you? Sky Chase, thank you. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. That is definitely, like, the Sonic auto-scroller. I don't think you really saw auto-scrollers. Like, auto-scrollers aren't really a thing in the 3D era, are they? Because, like, what would that mean to be an auto-scroller under those constraints? It becomes a much harder question. Dang it. Like, the meme run thing that K's made, maybe? Like, 3D Sonics don't really have auto-scrollers. I guess, like... In Sonic Adventure, you had the on-rail shooter sections, but those were, well, rail shooters. 3D Land and 3D World have auto-scrolls? Really? Huh. I don't really like... I don't know. 3D Land and 3D World always weird me out, because I don't really think about them as 3D Mario games for some reason, even though they clearly are. Rail shooters, Nights into Dreams. I tried to play Nights into Dreams the other day. Lose access to tail after the auto-scroller. I mean, yes, that's true in both of those. Tails goes off and has his own adventure in both cases. In one case, it's actually called Tails Adventure. 3D Land is your rotate. The truck is an auto... Yeah, you know what? Fair point. The truck in City Escape is an auto-scroller. That is valid. Huh. That I didn't consider that, but yeah, that's a good answer to that question. Man, I love that truck. What's up, Steven? No, Sonic was always in the trenches. He's always up for a good fight. Good scrap. They're not really 2.5, they're not Odyssey. Yeah, like, when I think 3D Marios, I think Odyssey. I think that Odyssey 3D, or 64, those styles. The 3D Land things are something kind of different. It's weird. But probably because the levels are somewhat linear. I mean, even Sunshine, the levels are somewhat linear, but you have choices. Been watching the Sunshine Bingo stuff they've been doing recently. I generally prefer the Lockout, especially 2v2 Lockout Bingo. But they've been doing Invasion recently, and Invasion's pretty good as a format for Sunshine. Basically, you have to start... The first person determines which side of the board each person is on. So once you get one goal, you now have control, and if you want to get a goal in the next row or column, you have to build it up stack-wise. So if you get something in your first row, something in your second row, something in your third row, you can always get things in your first row or column, but until you continue to build a stack, you can only have as many as the floor below. Which leads to some interesting strategic stuff. There was a really good game today, which came down to one click, really. And that one click came down to dude missing the a red coin jump. Could all be the trucks. Sonic 5, the Allies or Axis? Ooh, good question! Sonic does see himself as a good guy, but he is Japanese, which does technically put him on the Axis side. That definitely not something I was expecting to actually think about today. We did talk about World War II propaganda last time, so... think one of my favorite weird World War II facts was the guy who continued to fight World War II for like 10 or 15 years after the fact. Japanese dude had a group of them were stationed on an island, one of the islands in the island chains. And yeah, he got cut off before, after, during surrender. And so didn't know the war had ended. And despite basically everyone's best efforts to get him and his small group to stop, it took like 10 years, and finding his old superior officer in the Japanese military to like come out and dress in full regalia and order him to stand down. Eventually wrote a book about it. It's what you do when you have something wacky like that happen to you. Sounds like a Twilight Zone episode? Yeah, just a bit. But it's a thing that actually happened. There was a website that was really good back in the day called Useless Information. It was run by a high school chemistry teacher? Yeah, chemistry. He might have been a geology teacher, I'm not sure. He might have done both. But he wrote a book called Einstein's Refrigerator and Other Stories or something. It's a nice little, like, bathroom reader style thing. Just weird little stories, mostly about science. Einstein did, in fact, invent a refrigerator. Most people don't know about that due to him doing other, more important things. And refrigerators not being terribly interesting to most people in this day and age. Which goes well with the story about the guy who invented Freon and leaded gasoline. Generally, people consider his inventions to have been a net negative, but honestly, Freon was such a tremendous improvement over ammonia, it's kind of hard to say it wasn't a wash. There are still places that use ammonia fridges, but it's not the safest thing, especially in large amounts. My understanding is when you're dealing with large ammonia coolers, you actually have to your defrost cycles are pretty violent, and you do not want to mess up your defrost cycles. I'm not reading chat for a little bit because what I've found is I can't focus on the bullets and talk and think about what chat is doing very well, all in tandem. Full of brilliant questions. Similar story, refrigeration, one of the most important technologies. Absolutely. Civil War, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I killed one. Yeah, there's a really good USCB video about a food preservation place. Did a lot of like dry freeze drying, and had big ammonia coolers to help with this. And basically, the defrost cycle for that is you pump out the cold ammonia that you use for cooling, and you pump in hot liquid ammonia to remove all of the frost from the external fins and whatnot you use for cooling. And then you pump out all of the liquid ammonia and reintroduce the gaseous ammonia. Problem, they didn't pump out all the hot ammonia. It caused it to explode. Because when hot thing meets not so hot thing, it can cause bad things to happen. At least that's my recollection. Go on and on about it to people who don't care. No, it's true. It's one of those things you really kind of amazingly take for granted. For granted, not granite. Bone apple teeth. But like, refrigeration wasn't really that common 100 years ago. Like, stuff changed immensely in the last 100 years in a way that did not happen in the prior 100 years. Refrigeration being a big one. Like, you know, I think my grandfather still had an actual ice box at one point in his life. Where, you know, you would put ice in there to keep the things cold. That ice was probably cut from a river or something, way up north. Or stored in a small house, in a literal ice house full of sawdust. It's a strange world. I really wish instead of grabbing the moon... I really wish instead of dying I'd grabbed the moon. I really wish I'd beaten the level instead of grabbing the moon. Take vaccines for granted, too. We don't talk about it. Yeah, the vaccines are also pretty nice. Some of them are better than others. I still have a bone to pick with the MMR vaccine, but that's neither here nor there. But we do have some good ones. Rabies. Really good one. One of the few you can take after the fact, which is kind of fun. So if you do get bit by a dog, don't hold off. Go straight to the emergency room and get your rabies shot. Because then you won't die of rabies, which is nice. Dying of rabies is a pretty lame way to go. It'd be like dying. It's one of those things that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't get, like, diphtheria or the croup and die. That's not how this works anymore. You should not be dying of dysentery. Nobody should be dying of dysentery in this day and age. Oh, didn't expect to spawn 4 things. There's another one of those that was ridiculous. Tetanus is also pretty good. Had a tetanus shot. Oh god, it's 10 years ago. It was a very odd experience. I was working in New York for Time Magazine, and they were in a fancy new building. I was running late. It was like the first day I was in the New York office, and so I was... took the escalator a little too quick and ended up cutting my foot fell out of my shoe because I was wearing sandals, and yeah, I cut my foot pretty badly. My shoe was full of blood and stuff. It really sucked. So I like say, hey boss, I need to do something about this. Like, oh yeah, just go see the nurse. And I'm like, we have a nurse? And yeah, Time Inc. at the time had a like qualified nurse. I presume mostly in case people were going to some sort of country and needed to, like, do a round of malaria or West Nile virus or some other type of vaccine that isn't common. Make it easy so that if you do have to do, like, 4 or 5 shots, you can just do them at the office. Is my guess, but I honestly don't know. But, yeah, you're just like, yeah, what was my tetanus shot? I don't know. Jab. All right, fine. Okay. There we go. I got the moon and it. Some of the plague a few years back? That is awful. I hope not. I had a great essay about the relatively wrong issues with MMR. Is way different than blind skepticism. Yes. 10 people get the plague every year to random southwestern rats. Huh. It was scary. Refrigerator GG. Goog says globally. Huh. Oh, what's up, Nick and Ack? Thank you for the GGs, y'all. That moved me there. I don't want to be there. Right, let's do a different level. Oh god, that was a 3? It was a 4. Do I want to do quantum juggling? Guess we'll take a look at quantum tunneling. What is going on? If I'm standing on it, it doesn't move. Okay. Wait, oh, when I jump... wait, what? No! I don't understand this mechanism. What? What? I think when I jump, it turns around. And if I stand on it, it behaves weirdly. Okay, let's go with that. Why not? No, I don't understand it yet. Intentional game design. I'm not surprised. Okay, it's still bound... No, wait. No, don't go back! Ah! Okay, something I'm doing is consistent enough to get me past the first part. I don't understand what's going on. So hot, right? Nah, I don't have to try that. My Tally voice isn't great. Okay, no, it's a spin jump and it's... No. Okay, let go. Spin jump is free. And then just be confused. No? I thought... Okay, so if I do this... I ran myself through the wall. I don't understand. I keep thinking it'll do one thing, and I have no idea what it will do next. Like, that's what I thought it would do. X linked to my position. Kind of. Kind of. No. Maybe I don't want to play this level right now. Someone exercise this thing. Like, some of this just does... I do not get it. Like, presently, I'm working off of Voodoo, I think. I had something that worked. I could see that, maybe. I thought it'd do with me jumping, but that makes a lot of sense. Like, when I, like, don't... You can't do left-rights. I do so many left-rights. Okay. No, it's not facing direction. It's moving direction. Okay. And then if you're standing on it, it behaves weirder. Okay. Yeah, I needed space to figure this out. Bye, Charlie. God. I want that moon, but I don't want it, but I want it. I didn't want that. Okay, I don't want a left or right. Okay, I just need to do this. Okay. Ow. You cannot... You have to neutral at the very start. And then if I neutral and jump 3 times, it works. This is very appropriate music for this. Why do I wait patiently and then do nothing about it? Usually hug the left wall until the platform's on screen. That's probably smarter than what I've done, but I found a solution. Even if it sucks. Wait, no. Ah! Okay. There we go. Up! And then sometimes it does that. Wait, what? Do something different! Mark found a funny way to cheese a level during testing. Love people figuring out their own methods. I mean, frequently it's the only way to go about it. You have to figure out something. Ah! Alright. This is fine too. There it was until I realized what was happening. Is it mark as in mark alarm or a different mark? There's a few marks in SMW. There we go. And we despawned him. Ah! Mischievous Mark. Thank you, okay. There's a few. I haven't met Mischievous Mark. I've met Mark Alarm once. He was at 2024's SGDQ. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed to hear that the next one's going to be in Atlanta. Because... Atlanta? But... Or the SGDQ is going to be Atlanta. I think AGDQ is going to be Atlanta. SGDQ is still going to be in Minnesota. Minneapolis. Ah. Admittedly, I probably could swing it, but I don't know if I want to. Depends upon how all the stuff in the year times out. Like, doing HDQ and stuff, I was just exhausted by the time I got back to Seattle earlier this week. I basically took a couple days, but like, yeah, I ain't doing nothing. It's really hard not to slam into a wall. And then control it. Took you hours to beat your first time? Usually put in a couple attempts? Oh my. It makes me wonder how long it is. Nope. Ah! If I'd spun jumped, I think I would have been fine. Does remind me, I wanted to see if the... I debated going and playing some pinball and instead, you know, cleaned my apartment. Which was probably for the best, but... No, less fun. I wonder if the badges that I wanted are still available, because it did say through the 23rd. Not very, I was near the end. So the moon was at the very end, is what I'm guessing is the case! Okay, there we go. Ah, it's so hard to control it! So glad you got this out before someone else found this jank. Oh, I see what you mean. It's like the X-linked position causes weird stuff to happen with this. I don't know what to do. Just moving at warp speed. And either I end up going through the wall or I end up panicking. Come on. Need to be upper. This kid back from the store. What is this? You know, I've been playing it and I'm still not entirely sure exactly what's going on with respect to this. Hope the store was fun, though. Does remind me I need to try and not stream until hella late today because it is, unfortunately, fire alarm testing day tomorrow! Yes, the one day of the year. Well, one of the many days of the year where I will ignore a fire alarm. Literally gonna go put earplugs next to my bed. What's funny is, like, the first attempt that I got so far, I should have just run with it instead of trying to get the dang moon. To make it worse, I've scheduled an interview with someone. Probably without knowing it was going to be fire alarm testing day, to be fair. But it will suck if it comes up to be like noon when my floor is doing the fire alarm testing. And I'm in the middle of this interview and be like, yeah, the fire alarm's going off. So I'm debating trying to find somewhere else to be when that's happening. Because the call's at noon. So I could take my laptop and go somewhere where there's free Wi-Fi. And that's probably the smart move. But we'll see. Depends upon how fast I am at getting up and moving. I was also trying to remember if I know any place nearby that has free Wi-Fi. Or if I'd have to, like... go... what was I even standing on for half a second there? This is bizarre and unpredictable. I think I might take a break on this one. Well, our friend didn't spawn. That's nice. No! Understand the situation. The type of platform spins either clockwise or counterclockwise, which is dependent upon the X position of its center. Platforms on layer 2 scrolling with the screen's X position constantly changes. I would agree with... to change with... Sometimes we wish all fire alarm systems sitting in place around America, whooping together, let people know the imminent danger to life and property. Oh, boy. You know what I think is funny bullshit? You know, we complain about movies not being realistic, but one of the least realistic things you'll ever see in a movie is when fire sprinklers go off. Do you want to know why? Because the water in sprinklers is nasty. It's always this, oh yes, it's water, it's fine. And no, it's not. It's rust. It's made almost entirely of rust and dirt and nasty stuff that's been in there since the place was built. Let me get back up here. Okay. Stagnant for a decade. Yup. And they don't really need to clean it out like they would for consumer home pipes. Because it's supposed to be there. Like, it's not supposed to do that. It doesn't really matter. You're not drinking that stuff. Let me up! Like, I have no idea why they always... I mean, they know why they do it in the movies. Like, who wants to be in fire alarm crap if you're, you know, John Goodman? I don't know why John Goodman's the first actor to come to mind, but John Goodman. Hugging walls? I mean, my experience with hugging walls so far is I end up dying. Except this one. So I think you have to neutral while hugging a wall. I think that's the key. If you push a direction, you end up being shoved into it. And I'm so bad at getting it to turn around. Hug the wall and hope it doesn't hug you back. Do wall jumps. If not, can we do... You know, I don't know if I've done a wall jump in this yet. But who knows? I swear I wasn't holding. I may need to take a break on this. I would say so far, this and the Wiggler level have been the trickiest. In terms of, like, understanding what to do and actually executing. Everything else I've managed to pick up fairly quickly, except for the level with the run swimming. I forgot about the run swimming, or never knew about it, one or the other. It's what you get for doing a moderation, what I get for doing a moderation over a long period of time. Now that's a way to kill yourself. I'm not sure how it works to kill me, but it did. I just like instantly run through the wall and die. Do something! No! I have no idea how I did any of that. The worst part is I feel like I'm getting close, but I don't think it's because I'm understanding so much as random things are happening that occasionally benefit me. God may not play dice, but Sonic sure does. In Sonic Shuffle. The carbuncle ate itself? What does that mean? No, you need to be spinning the other way. Whoops. I never actually played Sonic Shuffle. I wonder if it was any good. To be fair, I've never played any Mario Party games. I think I picked up 100% orange juice because it was like $1 or free recently. Did once offer Jamie a deal. Because I always think those Twitch deals are kind of fun, right? Jamie was looking for something to play Mario Party with some friends. And I'm like, okay, I will purchase 4 copies of 100% orange juice if I can also just hand you Steam keys. Okay? Except I'm going to hand you one more Steam key than number of people. I think it was 4 people. And if someone gets the booby one, they have to play it. wherein I would, the basic idea was that this extra Steam key would be Bad Rats. I have actually seen someone try to play Bad Rats. It's not as funny as you'd hope, but it is still kind of funny. 100% OJ is funny, is fun with the right people. I mean, most things are. You just have to find the right people. Bad Rats is not much fun with anybody, but it's Bad Rats. It's the, like, herpes of Steam. I gave my brother Bad Rats for Christmas. I also gave him a bunch of other good games, actually good games. Got him Patrick's Parabox, which he's been enjoying quite... or Parablocks, which he's been enjoying quite a bit. It's a block pusher with recursive tendencies. Why do you just stop sometimes? Ah, no, I don't want that. What's up, Fries? We were just talking about Bad Rats. I also got him Bob Is You. A couple other puzzlers. He doesn't have anything in his Steam account. He doesn't have a Steam account anymore, actually. He had to get a new one for me to give him games. Oh, hey, look! It glitched out. That's because I was moving too fast. This is not a moderatable offense. Just the system could not keep up, and so I end up on a line of garbage. It happens. What's up, Milgrips? I wonder if I missed you earlier. No, that's... okay. Oh, he's not on screen, so... never mind, he is on screen. Texturing glitch adds the experience. I mean, again, it's something I'm not holding against you. It's a fact of the engine. You can only... well, fact of the SNES, perhaps? You can only update so many tiles in a given frame. In a given blanking period, really. I like the part where... ah! I totally glitched through the wall there. Okay, cool. Cool. No, no. What am I standing on? What? No! I don't think that if and when I beat this, I'm going to feel good about it. I'm going to feel mostly that the game let me win. It's true, you all never do see me, it's true. My hand was on stream once. Squiggles was on stream once. This... oh, that obstacle's so cruel now that I actually understand it. Ah. No, don't. Okay, cool. Don't go backwards. Ah! Ah! I don't have any control over what this does. Oh. What's worse is I know I have to beat this at some point. Oh, hey, look, garbage. At some point, what's going to happen is I'm just going to glitch through a wall and end up at the end. Like, literally just end up at the end and have no idea how I got there. That's what's going to happen. No! Turn! Okay. Sometimes when I ask it to go the other way, it just doesn't. Like, I'm double tapping because that kind of works. You can kind of steer it if you learn how while helping hooks a lot. Yeah. No! Why did it turn? Like if we're trying to time something. I need to let go. I need to basically never press left or right unless I'm jumping off of a surface that isn't this thing. Or jumping onto a surface that isn't this thing. Like, my goal is to just, if I'm ever having to ride this sucker, just jump. And then, see, I wanted to turn around, but it didn't. No, don't turn around now! Now I can't see it. So I think what happened there is I actually got moving so quick I couldn't jump anymore, which does take some of the wind out of my sails with my theory of how to do this. All right, well, that's fine. Okay, Charlie. No, okay. Okay. How do I want to do this? No. Thinking. Okay. Okay. Off we go. No! Alright, we saw the ending at least. Double pendulum vibes? Yeah. Okay. 92 exits? Yeah, it's a lot. How you doing, Hi? Hi, Waluta. Waluta. Hawalucha. Oh, man. How does this platform work? I can't answer that. It is made of jank. This is a whack platform. It is made of jank and confusion. No, I need you to be going this way. And you need that not to happen. Yeah, hopping helps. It's true. I've been neutral hopping a lot. Maybe clockwise when you face right. It's not merely facing. It has to do with pressing. It has to be longer than facing, so it's actually more confusing than you think it is. So, like, I could turn my way facing this way, but then if I press it again... So I kind of have to, like, double press if I want to. And it doesn't work consistently, and also it turns around on its own sometimes and throws me into walls. And then it just sometimes just does what I don't expect and ends up throwing me off. I don't think a clear video is necessarily what I need. Like, I sort of understand what I need to do. I do appreciate the idea, but I don't think I need it. Something I might want to watch to see how other people do it later, but... See how the other half live. Wait. Dang it, I forgot that was what I wanted to do. That was kill him. That's why I'm standing there. Like, if I was not at least occasionally making progress... Like, I'm getting some level of consistency here, even if it is, like, weird, janky consistency. Your first official clear? Oh, interesting. QLDC material? Abso-effing-lutely. You know, it's one of those behaviors. I don't spend enough time with digging chucks to actually know that they pause every few things, and so I keep thinking I'll just go on the next cycle, and then he doesn't do anything on the next cycle. And this is where things... tend to go awry. Say you believe it should start moving a certain direction if you move that direction, but due to when the value is pulled in a sprite code, it can also happen when the value is not updated. Maybe? I would not say that matches my understanding of this yet. My understanding of this is poor, so... I might need to take a break or switch to a different thing, because my hands are starting to hurt. Now, the problem is when it starts turning the other way, I don't want it over there. Oh, hey, I'm supposed to replace lamp. That's probably going to be annoying later. Glad y'all can't see the replace lamp sign. You know what it means? Nothing. I'm not going to replace the lamp. Probably should buy a new one, though. Yeah, the first while it just flashes the sign because I've been over, you know, some threshold of time. But later it'll just turn it off for me, which is annoying. Which probably makes more sense when it's part of like a installation in an office somewhere and it's easy for people to forget that the projector exists. I don't want you going that way. Ah! Well, I despawned him at least. I can't tell what it's doing once it gets below a certain threshold on the screen, and I find that very annoying. It's probably part of the reason this exists. Ah, no. I was about to look at the screen, which means I can do that. I'm really good at jumping straight into the ball that I shouldn't jump into. I don't understand. Like, sometimes it just doesn't work. So cold, you have some blankets? Yeah, it's that time of year. But no, I didn't turn around! degrees Fahrenheit? If so, dang. It's supposed to be somewhat chilly, but I think we're tapping out at like maybe 32. No chance of snow, which is nice. People in Seattle cannot into snow. They occasionally think they can. They cannot into snow. People in Alabama are better at snow than people in Seattle. You want to know why? Because when people in Alabama get a forecast of snow, they stay the fuck home. When people in Seattle get a forecast of snow, they're like, oh yes, my four-wheel drive vehicle will be able to go up and down all these big hills that exist in Seattle. I sure can go up and down Queen Anne all to my heart's content. And then there's a whole large group of people at the bottom of the hill who are ready to laugh at you when you slide down. Because four-wheel drive doesn't mean you can stop. On the bright side, these guys never turn around. No! It turned around! No, don't! But no! It turned around again! Wait, what am I doing? That's not the cycle. Okay, I need to get out of this. It's driving me nuts. we'll have to come back to that. Thankfully, it's not a fortress so I can tell. Let's do this one. Oh, this is as far as you go, Mario. You'll never be able to hold Y and press L or R. Just try it. Oh. What am I looking at here? Is this a fire extinguisher? A thing of gasoline. A juice box? Oh, I think it's supposed to be TNT. I'm choosing to believe it's a juice box. Cool. You know, I was gonna just let it sail off the screen if it wanted to. But no. Root beer? Really? Yeah, it's extremely easy. What's up, Heat Dude? Yeah, it has been a bit. Whoa. Looks like Hubert. It's true. Twisted Fire Starter. Oh, no. These little things like poop fire everywhere. Why I hate them the most. Can I bounce on that one, actually? Alright. Game on. Have I ever played Hubert? Yes, I have. He goes, and he has a physical knocker, a la like pinball, when he falls out to make it look kind of like he fell out of the game and into the cabinet. It's kind of funny. Haven't played in a very long time. The most Qbert thing I really know about is the Atari version of Qbert, the 2600 version, because it has like a weird, like vaguely asymmetric playing field. Which it shouldn't, because Qbert has a symmetric playing field. But limitations of the Atari 2600 made it required to do that. Namely, I think the speed at which you can update the playfield or something. Because background updates in the 2600 are surprisingly difficult. Everything about the 2600 is surprisingly difficult. Can I get the sucker to despawn? Totally what I meant to do. Not bullshit in the slightest. It's the little fire poops. Those are the only thing I really fear in this. His mouth looks like a lot like a macaroni. It's true. It is true. Qbert is a strange-looking critter. He was in Wreck-It Ralph. Because his arcade machine had been unplugged because it didn't make enough money. And so he was one of the homeless characters. I have an idea. But it requires killing this guy first. I have a solution, but it rather involved being on the other side of this air hatch. Oh. Pfft. I was like, did my projector turn off? But no. Okay. You are getting so much mileage out of the sprite stack stuff. Dang it! Retro indeed. I thought that was on purpose. Fair Qbert cameos are in Pixels with Adam Sandler and Wreck-It Ralph. Gonna say because you watched that movie countless times as a kid. Oh man, I saw Wreck-It Ralph in theaters. Goodness knows how long ago. Then I saw Wreck-It Ralph 2. Wreck-It Ralph 2 was bad. Like, quite literally, the only explanation I can have as to why it exists is someone said, you know what? You remember that episode of Futurama? Where, like, they do all of the YouTube memes? How about you do an entire movie about Ralph that's YouTube memes? Also, remember how the theme of the first movie is you need to be where you're supposed to be? Let's just forget about that and instead come up with a new theme of you should be where you want to be. Or I guess you should be where you're needed. Completely invalidating the first movie. Yes, that's brilliant. I'm a Pixar executive. It is one of my least favorite episodes of Futurama, by the way, is the YouTube video one. It didn't age well, because who cares about any of that stuff? Oh, hello, Shovda. Must sleep, but good luck with moderating. Oh, thank you. Ralph Break the Internet was one giant rickroll. Pretty much. Sub TJNB, sub Shovda. Thank you for the raid. How was the stream? Hope it was something fun. Still grinding Joker Shell. Often forget Ralph 2 exists until you're reminded. I do too. Life is better when you forget that Wreck-It Ralph 2 exists. I needed a handbrake anyway. At least everything is good in moderation. Not everything. Elemental fluorine, I could definitely do not think I need in moderation. I need very little of that in my life. Oh, hey. Their tails don't hurt you. What's up, a baby? There's a second one? Yes. It is not very good. As we've been addressing, it's just thematically bad, conceptually bad. It's just bad. Like, there's no redeeming factor that makes me say, but yes, there's this one thing. No, it's just not good. Ralph Breaks the Internet is just not good. And the people involved should be sacked. Dang it! Remember liking it? Maybe you don't. I don't know what to tell you. There was a message I should have read about strategies. Maybe it wasn't. Figure out how to use stacks quicker because you want to make more of them. That is fair. Was he gonna fix all that stuff? I don't know. I just don't know. The thing is like, he didn't even break the internet in the end, like, right? Like, he didn't do that. Hope someone got fired for that. The wizard did it. Anyway, this is Freak City. It's a cool hack full of small levels with sometimes difficult gimmicks. But I'm having a good time so far, plus or minus maybe 2 levels. And then maybe I'll beat those 2 levels and it will be plus 2 levels. Not what I meant to do. Kim Kardashian. The less I think about the Kardashians, the happier I think I will be in general in life. It just spared the fire snake. Well, the fire snake's actually even... This isn't a fire snake. What is the name of this thing? It's like a flamin' chomp or something. Like, Mario 3 had an official name for these suckers. And I know, because I had the official Mario 3 guide, despite not having a regular old Nintendo. It's much cheaper to buy your kid what is effectively a strategy guide than it is to buy him the Nintendo and the game. Not that I minded, I actually had a lot of fun with that. I memorized the Mario 3 card things at one point in my life. And remember bits and pieces of them still, which occasionally has come in handy. And then one day I finally got All-Stars and actually got to put that information to better use. I think this is technically a PB. Flame Chomp, yeah. And I bought Slide It? Probably. Yeah, let's try. Maybe. Let's try maybe. Have to say, the little random... Are they even... Yeah, you can. Oh. Well, that made the level a lot easier. I think I can basically just walk through it now. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's just too cheesy. Look, when I moderate, I don't take the easy way out most of the time. Every once in a while I do, but most of the time I don't. So here's the thing, right? Is like, if a level gives you a cape, you can always pretty much, unless it's intentionally designed as such, fly over it. I do not believe in going and getting a cape so I can fly over a level. That's just not fun. And I don't think it's very nice thing to do to the person who made the level, right? Like, it's boring unless it's an intended thing to be a cape level. So in Standard X, I almost never fly over a stage unless I've already beaten it. Because why would I? It's lame. Now, of course, explicit cape hacks are a whole different, hill of beans. What we're talking about here, of course, is not a specific cape hack. There's no cape involved. In fact, I don't think there's been a cape in this hack yet. And when there will be one, I'll probably be terrified. That's not what I wanted. This is also not what I wanted. I jumped. You unintentionally de-cheesed this level? It was cheesier. Just want to kill the friggin' chomp. Ah. Yes, cape people are weird to me. I get the shell people, but the cape people are just beyond me. I do not understand their particular... Fetish is not the right word, but it's the word we'll use. We played a game recently by a fetishist and was like, well, still a really good game, though. It wasn't mostly about his fetish, but his fetish was in it. There we go. No! Oh, why'd you have to drop 3 there? This was a PB. Just a weird thing. What game? Hollow versus Robos. Robo? It's basically Plants vs. Zombies with anime girls instead of plants. Though in the context of the game, they are dolls of anime girls, so it's not, like, as ridiculous. It scratched the itch. I kind of wanted to play Plants vs. Zombies again. And it was like $6, and I had fun. But the guy who made it definitely has a foot fetish. One of the things, so in Plants vs. Zombies, there's one of the plants that just clears the whole screen of all of the zombies. And the rough equivalent here just stomped everything with its foot, her foot. Her Romos. Of course you do, Desi. Of course you do. How you doing? But for $6, I was happy enough. It scratched the itch. And I didn't have to get out my Xbox 360 to play the copy of Plants vs. Zombies I actually own. I also found out recently that apparently if an Xbox 360 is offline for long enough, it loses the date after the after the beginning of 2026. Because apparently they stored the date as a 40-bit field somewhere, which is just a weird number to use. So now I have 2 devices that have year problems. My car and my Xbox 360s. Because I have more than one. A friend was getting rid of his. And I'm like, I'll take it. It's one of the ones that has HDMI output, so I could use that instead of RGB. Or actually VGA. I use VGA when I do Xbox capture. Dang it. Doing okay? I was not going bad. I've gotten a lot of stuff done today. Or at least enough stuff done today. Worked on CLDC and did some good house cleaning because tomorrow is fire alarm testing day, and I wanted to make sure that the places where the fire people needed to go would be easy enough to get to. So basically the path into my room is clean, plus or minus a few things. and I got everything in the front entryway nice and spick and span. The biggest problem with the front entryway is that that's where I put boxes, and I haven't cleared out the boxes in a while, or had not until today, because they moved where I need to take the boxes from, like, the floor I live on to the basement, and I don't really want to take all of the boxes to the basement every time I have a box. It's really annoying. In fact, it kind of makes me want to just throw away boxes, I'm gonna be honest. Making recycling annoying enough just makes me not want to do it. But very important stuff. It's true. But yeah, like I said, got stuff done, worked on CLDC a bit. I need to do like 4... I said 2 more things when I enumerated them. Matt was like, that's not 2 things. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I need to do like 4 or 5 more things, but most of those tasks are small and well understood. I have a little bit of editing to do. There's a couple entries I need to write better. They're not written well, or not written at all. I have a bad habit of not writing an entry for the last entry I play in the night, because I'm tired and want to go to bed, and that constantly bites me in the ass. So next time I do a judging thing, I am going to try and not fail on that front. Because usually I'm like, I don't want to burn a bunch of time, like, writing notes, like, doing the writing notes portion when, like, I'm gonna throw everybody at someone else. And then immediately after I rate someone, I'm like, I just want to brush my teeth and go to bed. So there's that problem. Hear ya? Have so many flattened boxes taking up space, be nice to get rid of it all. Yep. But I did in several trips take it downstairs. I had way too many boxes. The box full of boxes went down fine, but all of the, like, collapsed boxes behind the box full of boxes, that was a pain. I did eventually find a good solution-ish, but it took a while. I think it ended up taking, like, 3-ish trips in the end. It was good, because I also went and grabbed stuff out of my car, because I'd forgotten that there was stuff in my car in the trunk that I hadn't taken out from my last Costco trip. Nothing perishable, thankfully, just paper products. Bought some toilet paper and some paper towels. I'm probably good for toilet paper and paper towels till I move out. Finally found your focus clear. It's from 2021. Oof. I get that. Every once in a while, I look at the dates on videos on YouTube, because I, have this YouTube, probably mentioned it once or twice, that has most of my VOD stuff that I've processed up and running, and I've been, had a consistent video per day streak for, like, at least 3 years now, maybe more. Minus Essex, but that's beyond my control. My playthrough of Mario Essex got copy claimed by Nintendo. In the interest of not having the giant Eye of Sauron, looking at more of my stuff, I did not object to it, so alas. But I'm the only person who seems to have this problem. Daizo's is still up. I'm gonna assume, like, anyone else's is, but just, I'm unlucky in this respect. At least we get the barrel volcano music. I love the barrel volcano music. It's a very small part of RPG. Anyway, some of those I look at the date and I'm like, that's when that happened? Really? That was 2 years ago? Blows my mind. Just blows my mind. Anyway, CLDC is almost done on there. I've finished all of the editing and everything for all of those. I did a little bit of that after the stream last night, after I raided last night. Who did I raid last night? Luffy mainboard, I think. It's one of those things I really wish I had better knowledge of, because I have tracking for so much stuff, but I have no idea how to track who I've raided, because I don't think that information comes through in any of the streams I've picked up. Let me phrase that. Any of the information streams that I'm subscribed to on Twitch via their API. There we go, that's better. I wasn't better. Anyway, I went through the other day and cleared out all of the I'm not doing these videos. And I was left with 150 VODs left to process. Some of them aren't so bad, or I've gotten progress on. Like Baldur's Gate, I need to do work on, but like, I've done the editing. I have a script that will handle all of the stuff when I finally get around to doing things. But other things, not so much. Like Bob, I also got Bob Is You. I'll come up with an idea I like for doing the thumbnails for that, so we'll see if that works. Cross fingers, etc., etc. Dang it! Has rate again that shows the recent ones? Sure, but like, I want better historical data. Like, I'd love to see exactly who I've rated and how much. So like, I have data on who rates me because it comes through the system, right? Like, that alert in game didn't just show up in game, it also flows through the entire network of things that listen. And therefore it gets stored off in a database. In like 2 databases, probably. It's definitely in the web server data. It's definitely in one of the web server databases. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like, I have that data, and that's part of the like rewind, wrap, whatever summary thing I built. Because I have that data of who rated me, when they rated me, how many people they rated me with, etc., etc., etc. So I think it's kind of cool. Oop. Okay. Dang it! I really hate the little fire poops. They are really the thing that actually makes this challenging. I could manage this particular object most of the day. Once you know where the fire chomps will actually spawn, it's not so bad. The problem is the little fire poops. I jumped. Okay, well that was on me. But anyway, I would like to have that information. It'd be nice to know how many times I rated somebody. Just don't know exactly if or where that data might be in Twitch's API. But it's nice to know they might be storing it. Still enjoying this slightly more than the I don't understand how this platform works room. Anyway, since I'm not traveling anytime soon, I kind of have latitude to start something new. I do want to get Metroid started sooner than later, obviously, and I swear to God I'm going to message Desi about that again soon. Like, maybe next week, like next Wednesday would probably work well for me. Like, I have nothing important scheduled travel-wise, so I can pretty much do anything I want to right now, which is nice. So if Wednesday would work, I did Desi Wednesdays for a long time when going through the first 3 Final Fantasy games. And when I say first 3, I mean like legit first 3, not 1 NES, 2 SNES. I mean 1, 2, 3 NES, all on NES. That was fun. Those games are interesting. Though the only one I could see playing again really might be 3. Dang it. We did. It was awesome. Ah, God, that stupid boss in 3. Oh, yes. There's wind. Therefore, you need to use spears and be a dragoon. Well, we hinted it to you. We gave you 4 pairs of dragoon armor. Yeah. The way the class system works in Final Fantasy III is interesting. Garuda, thank you. Oh, and the final boss. Oh, God, the final boss. I walked... Oh, hello. What's up, Mr. Twister? I could use a short handbrake. Whoops, I walked into the final boss. After spending so long in that dungeon, nothing I can do about it now. To shreds, you say? The final True False cats. Oh god, the cats. Oh, those were so bad. What's up, Mr. Twister? Thank you for the raid. How's the stream? What were you up to? I forgot to run SO. Could someone type in exclamation part SO for me? I would, except auto-scroller. There we go. Thank you. UFO 50 and Clover Pit. Ooh, fun. What'd you play in UFO 50? I don't know what Clover Pit is. I'm gonna assume it's a card game. But I hope you had fun with both. I do love me some UFO 50. I think I'd hit like 40 odd streams of it. I have to check the numbers at some point. What's funny is I don't have very many, like, I played a shortish game. Let's say short is defined as less than 6 streams left in my backlog of stuff to process. Almost everything is like gargantuan, humongous amounts of nonsense. Dang it! Did bad at Capanella too. Hyper Contender, Valbrace, and Pin Golf. Nice. I have to say, I actually really grew to like Valbrace. I thought I might, because I do like a good, like, I've never actually beaten one of those 3D first-person dungeon crawlers. I played a decent chunk of, like, Moraf's World back in the day. But I never played, like, any of the Ultimas that play that way, or, what, Wizardry, I think might be the example. But I never played most of those. Dang it! It always puts one right where I need it in that part. But yeah, it's an interesting type of game genre. I played one. I went to a games sort of like festival might be the... Now, festival's not like the right word, but it used the word festival, so I'm going to say festival. When I was in Japan and played someone's first-person dungeon crawler thingy. I couldn't make it very far because I didn't understand what was going on. Dagnabbit! Valbrace is one of your favorites. Got through the 3rd floor tonight. Oh, nice. A lot easier than the second one. Yeah, the second floor was a meat grinder. 3rd floor was so much easier. 3rd floor is like the start of the slime levels, right? Yeah, that first slime level was really easy compared to the dungeon level. That's a fun game. Just, yeah, UFO 50 and Valbrace, specifically. There are so many good games in that collection. Yeah, I never found some spells like Flight. I told someone about that, and they looked at me funny and be like, you actually beat the game without Flight? Or maybe I mentioned it on stream recently. Maybe you should on stream. I think maybe Brown Tower, because Brown Tower was trying to cherry every game, and Valbrace had been holding them back. But Flight would have made things so much easier. So much easier. I guess spoilers, there's a Flight spell. Good luck finding it, because I don't know where it is. Honestly, I didn't really cast that many spells in Valbrace. I didn't really jive that well with the spellcasting interface. Found it and then forgot it. It's possible. I have no idea where the Flight spell would be. But I would say you're probably better off not forgetting it. Just, you know, no spoilers or anything, but you'll probably be happier if you can fly. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Because speaking of cheap entertainment for kids, that was one of my mom's favorite things to make us watch. In terms of money for value she got out of it was really high. Disney sing-along tapes. Basically, they would take the musical sections of some of their, you know, most famous movies, such as You Can Fly from Peter Pan, or Under the Sea from Little Mermaid, and put, like, a few of them on a VHS tape. There's a few in there that would definitely not be as recognizable for children these days, I think. I wanted the moon. Such as Old Yeller. Which, you know, the song Old Yeller is actually a fairly pleasant song. Here, Yeller, come back, Yeller. Best doggone dog in the West. But then you remember how the movie ends. And you're like, you know, I was happier before I started singing that. Actually, weird deep cut from that. There was one that was featured around, like, Disney World rides for some reason. And there was a rap version of Zippity Doodah in there, of all the things. Rapping was part of it. It wasn't like a complete, like, rap track. But it had a rap verse, which is still kind of funny to me. You know, it's a thrill. And not only was it was still themed after Splash Mountain, because that was still themed after A Song of the South for a number of years. They got rid of that recently-ish. It's a prequel to All Dogs Go to Heaven. Well, I've got a good one for that. Apparently the director, Don Bluth, posted this on Twitter a while ago. I saw it. But Burt Reynolds, when he first came in to do voice acting for the dog, would use his dog voice, and everybody hated it. And so he called up, Don Bluth called up Dom DeLuise and was like, hey, how can I get Burt Reynolds to stop being stupid? And Don DeLuise was like, okay, I got this. Cast me in the movie, call me Itchy, I'll fix this. And so they started doing recordings next to each other, and Dom DeLuise just looks at Burt when he puts on his dog voice. He's like, what is that? You're embarrassing me. Just use your normal voice, Burt. Everyone likes Burt. And therefore, that's why they actually got Burt Reynolds to sound normal in the movie. I don't think I've seen anything that Dom DeLuise has done that hasn't been, like, pretty nice and chill. The weirdest one, another example since I was cleaning, at some point while I was drunk, I ordered a VHS tape off the internet of the Wacky Zany Kool-Aid video, which was something I had as a kid. Basically, it was something you could get, dang it, if you sent away with enough Kool-Aid points, which were proof of purchase points on the back of Kool-Aid packages and the like. We drank a non-trivial amount of Kool-Aid as children. And we were, you know, for the longest time tried to decide what to do with our points, because we really just saved them up. I wanted the mugs. They had some cool, like, plastic Kool-Aid mugs. I'm not really sure which of us decided we wanted the video instead. But it's mostly stock footage, a couple of mathematical tricks, which is still probably the weirdest thing in there, except for the bit where Dom DeLuise does slapstick with a newspaper vending machine that has a bit of a thing against him. It's very strange. It's very strange. We changed topics like 4 times already. I need to get rid of that. I have no utility for such a thing. It probably cost me like $8 or something. I doubt they're in high demand. It didn't come with like the case or anything. What? Yeah, exactly. Here's the fun thing. This video is on YouTube. You can go watch it. So like the start of it is a toy commercial. It starts with a commercial for KB Toys. It doesn't exist anymore. And then, what does it do? Then there's a bunch of, like, stock footage. Yeah, it's a bunch of stock footage stuff that they do. With it's an exercise routine. I forgot that's what it is. But it's all with, like, weird stock footage, along with a few little bits of the Kool-Aid Man crashing through walls. And then after that, there's a bit about mole men. Again, stock footage with voiceovers. The mathematical trick is somewhere in there. Dom DeLuise's thing is broken up into like 3 parts, and they summarize it. The video is like 20 minutes long. It's just a bit weird. What else was on there? Oh, the math trick. So one of them is one thing I actually kind of want to like do a video on at some point, because I think the math trick is cool. It basically has to do with counting edges on a graph. So they put 9 elements on the screen, various things children would be dealing with, like Kool-Aid, or school, or dancing, or music. And you put your finger on one, and he tells you to move n spaces away, or the number of spaces in the name of, move as many letters as whatever it is. And the trick here is that, like, you will always end up in a certain segment of squares because of how they've counted you off, which is how they can guarantee they can eliminate certain squares because you won't be in them. And having eliminated those squares, they can then force you at the end to end up on Kool-Aid, which is the point. The other one is a really dumb way of, like, tricking someone into thinking you have done something interesting, but instead you've just taken their number and multiplied it by 2 in a really convoluted way, and then had them divide it by 2 in a really convoluted way. But this is done with a voiceover of a dog, or, like, it's voiced by someone doing a dog voice with stock footage of, like, a bulldog. And at the end, there's a stop-motion bit where a bunch of, like, motorcycle dudes are having a race against nerdy people on scooters, and I forget how it ends. And then there's another advertisement for KB Toy Stores. There's probably a few things I'm missing here and there, but that was most of it. PUBG 4D release date announced? Really? I had a chance to... Wait, 4D? Didn't they release a different PUBG game recently? I swear I saw someone playing it, like, recently-ish. I didn't actually end up playing the PUBG game that was available at PAX, and I'm a little disappointed. The Atari booth, I think, had that. Atari's got a bunch of properties, and they have no idea what to do with them. And so occasionally they'll just let someone do something with them. There was also kind of a cool Metroidvania game. Guy said it was kind of Souls-like. I don't know if I agreed with his assertion. Maybe I didn't get far enough in. But it was a cute Metroidvania game. Bubsy is a top in this one. Put out some side-scrollers. No, it wasn't the side-scrollers. This was a 3D game. Maybe it is the same one. Bubsy is definitely a top in Bubsy 3D. Bubsy revisits the James Turrell retrospective. Or visits, depending upon, you know, how many times you've played it. Which is truly one of the best Bubsy games of all time. And probably my favorite. Because of art and Applebee's. Have you played Bubsy Visits the James Turrell retrospective, Desi? And if not, you should. It is an insane piece of art. Current holders, Atari names basically a bunch of old IPs they want to work with. The biggest name they have, unironically, is Bubsy. I don't know, Yar's Revenge looked pretty good. But yeah, the biggest name probably is Bubsy. Like, the problem is that the average age of the person who's nostalgic for Atari games is pretty dang up there now. Like, and I ain't no spring chicken. Though, unironically, I probably would play Clax again. There's always time for Clax, regardless of the current level of 80s-ness. Up, hype, you, peace. Second big, yeah. Haven't signed it. Yeah, definitely look it up. It's an art piece game. It has some interesting features that aren't obvious unless you play around with it some more. The whole game is just kind of weird, but it's weird for a purpose. And it did convince me to visit a James Turrell installation. I went and spent many times going to the Museum of Modern Art, PS1, in Brooklyn, trying to see it. And I think the first few, at least one or several of the times I went, it was closed due to weather or due to there being too many cranes in the sky. But I unironically would actually play Yara's Revenge, whatever. I played that one at PAX a couple of years back, and legitimately looked fun. It was a Metroidvania with hacking minigames that were based off of old Atari properties like Yara's Revenge or Centipede or whatever, and you know what? It kind of works. Like, hacking minigames in general kind of suck, because, like, I've been a hacker, I know how to hack. And no, I don't just mean, like, oh yes, I'm a hacker, I've worked on, like, Mario hacking and stuff. I mean, quite legitimately, I know how to read assembly. I've broken into services across the internet sometimes. I've done my share of TTFs. Like, I'm not exploding any vans, but you know. New thing with Yara, that's what I'm talking about. Retro Revival's been going on. Yeah, we're talking about the same thing. So Yara's Revenge is actually pretty good. Like, it looked fun, I played it for a bit. Like, it seemed legit. And I do like the minigames being based on all the Atari games. I think that is a concept that works. But it was just a Metroidvania. Like, that's a good category of thing to just try and do something with. And you're not like a spaceship, you're a chick with purple hair. I forget the plot. I think you're trying to infiltrate I think it's kind of like a cyberpunk thing. Like, you're infiltrating the corporation to do a data steal. And I mean, like, proper Shadowrun, like, cyberpunk, not just like Neuromancer, Shadowrun, that kind of cyberpunk. Not just like, we have magic in computers kind of cyberpunk. But to be fair, like, Shadowrun has a lot of weird-ass magic stuff. You can be a dwarf, or an elf, or an orc in Shadowrun, or a troll. And not an internet troll, though. You probably shouldn't be an internet troll, in all honesty. Oh, I put it right where I didn't need it. Trolls usually don't have the stats you'd want for being a hacker, is my understanding. But you can basically become, you know, Dirk McHugebeef and tank everything for your team. Seen the game Dan Salvato was making for the Atari? Yes, it's not for the Atari, it's for the Amiga. But yes, I've played both of the levels that are available, because Dan Salvato takes his Amiga and brings it to GDQs so people can play it. I beat the first level, I beat the second level. I have a picture somewhere of my clears of both of those. Really, really, really cool game. And I love the Amiga. Basically, if you have any love of... Like, Dan loves to talk hardware shop. Like, he really loves, like, demo scene stuff. It's one of those things that's kind of shocking, is like, oh yeah, there's just Dan Salvato over there. He's just playing with his Atari. You can just go talk to Dan Salvato. He's just playing with his Atari. Amiga, dang it! You got me on it, too. I do have some series you didn't recognize, like Roller Coaster Tycoon and System Shock. They own those? Having a major modern platformer competing with, like, Cheesy. Bubsy people like Cheesy, Mr. Nuts, huh? The fact that the upcoming game's gotten much attention tells you Bubsy is finally actually good. We don't know that. Like, it could still be people are just having fun clowning on Bubsy. Like, Bubsy is still kind of a punchline. I played Super Bubsy, which is the Windows 95 port of the SNES version of Bubsy, or the Genesis or something. And it came with this wonderful extra feature where if you played the levels well, you got to watch a fraction of the pilot episode of the Bubsy cartoon. Played the demo, it's great. That was good. Yeah. Dan Salvato's game is Magicore something. I forget the exact name. It's really good. I'll probably buy it when it comes out. It's also fairly accessible. Like, the levels are not terribly difficult to read. Admittedly, only the first, 2 worlds are available. And the first world is basically a tutorial and a boss fight. The boss fights are actually kind, which is interesting. So, like, most of the time, it's very much I want to be the guy styled. So you're doing a lot of jumps around pits and spikes. But right as I left GDQ, I had done a run back and had noticed some interesting behavior on one of the objects in the second level, and actually talked to him really quick about it. Because basically it was like, yeah, I need to say goodbye and run, but I do want to make sure this is like a bug that's been reported, in case, you haven't looked at it yet. And his answer was, no, it's not a bug. It was actually a decision on his part to do this specific thing this way. There we go. Oh my god, if this trolls me. Whee! I haven't seen that one yet. That one's good. You always have good emotes, Desi. That was only a 4-star? Oh boy. Let's do something easier. Thanks for the GGs. This is creepy. Anything over here? Nope. Okay. I think these are crabs. Definitely crabs. I've seen the... No, I haven't. Amusingly enough, I have not kept abreast of your recent emotes. I really should. I have access to them. I probably want to use them at some point. Oh, that's a thwomp. Huh. This level is aesthetically cool and creeping me out at the same time. Yeah, the animated emote meta, that's something I'm still not huge on. Mostly because they don't let you use enough frames to do anything cool. You're limited to 60 frames. How can you work under those conditions? I have one animated emote. That might have been the last emote I added that wasn't something I stole from an icon pack on Windows or something. Okay. There was a moon right there. There was a moon and I missed it. It was there for the taking. Anyway, I was gonna say the bosses are actually kind of kind in the Magic Core game. Because instead of... Like, most I want to be the guy style games, if there's a boss, you will end up kind of just like, if you kick a hit 10 minutes into the boss, you start over. That's how it works. In this case, you are usually trying to hit the boss. You would have a shoot button. So think Boshi more than some other ones. It's not a survival fight for the most part. Sure, you need to survive, but that's not, like, the purpose of the fight. The purpose is to shoot the other person enough until they relent. I don't know if anyone dies. I basically, because I figure the plot will be cool, I didn't read any of the plot while playing. And there is a substantial amount of plot. I thought that thing was going to continue running at me. No idea limit in frames? Yeah, frame and size limit. So, like, I had one where I wanted to run a lot of frames. Actually, Desi, if you would be so kind to demonstrate Pat CDR Proud. That needed more frames for the modular arithmetic to line up. I eventually ended up cutting it short because, like, between the triangle flashing having a certain number of frames and my flashing Link different color, rainbow colors things, there wasn't a way to make it work with the number of frames correctly with the number of frames that Twitch wanted me to use. So I didn't. I ended up changing it so it cuts out early, which is a bit of a bummer, but what can you do? Thank you. I'm still happy with that one. Of emotes that I have made with my own two hands, I really actually do like that one. I mean, made, quote unquote. It was like, it really was Nintendo mostly. But quite literally what I ended up doing was watching frame by frame how that worked in the final scene of Zelda 2, and taking the colors from my capture of that. So they are NES correct to my NES. They're not one of the palettes you see online. Though I did take the actual sprite itself directly from the game card. Because there was no reason not to. It was easier that way, and it looks better. Here's where I died. No. Must be, because I didn't see the spring. Whoa. What the heck? Okay, this is a really cool Boom Boom reskin. And a good reminder of why playing on projectors sometimes sucks. Yeah, it was fun. That was kind of my plan at one point, was that I would do a thing like that for every request game. More or less, that just made me stuck with indecision and not actually end up doing anything. So, haven't done one since. I kind of wanted to do one for Everhood, because Everhood was a really cool game. But I never came up with a good idea, even after, like, dumping the resources from Everhood that would have made doing some of it easier. Everhood's just a Unity game. It makes it, you can easily dump resources out of Unity games. It's not hard. Speaking of kind bosses, I get the feeling either this thing's cycles are randomized, or I'm only getting kicked back a few. Nah, maybe they're randomized. I think they're randomized. Bombs Away. Bombs Away is a lot like Chips Ahoy, but people actually want to eat Chips Ahoy. This is both things. They're random? Okay. That's the problem, is when you get into the weeds of, like, what's going on with this, you could start developing your own, like, episodical cycles kind of theories, which are not good. Ah, dang it. When I see him doing that, I should just ignore him and move under him. Like, I only want to deal with him when he's bringing himself down for it. Why'd I do that? Had to tone him down so they get fast enough? With enough hits? Yeah. Boom Boom's not my favorite thing to fight, though this is a better Boom Boom than the one that was originally on the site, I'm pretty sure. So this one, I think, is the one of the things that came out of the first Mad Scientist, second Mad Scientist competition? Which I think was like revamp a site on the a sprite on the website. On SMW Central. I don't really know for sure. But I can tell you, like, I like this Boom Boom more than the one I'd seen in a number of standard hacks. Probably my favorite one I've seen of him, this implementation, this might have been in Trip Brookle. Because Trip Brookle was just awesome! Like, if you're looking for a standard hack that's not going to let you down, that is one. A true magnum opus. It's difficult towards the end. But it's worth the effort, especially if you're going for 100%. The final Boom Boom fight is also pretty funny. I had him leave. He left the field once. But the thing is, since the guy who made that is also a bit of a Kaizo hacker, he included the you can start select any time to get out ASM. So, soft locks don't really matter as long as you can escape them, if that makes sense. Like, if I get stuck in a soft lock but I have start select, I just don't care. Like, from a moderation perspective, it's equivalent to not having a soft lock. Now, to be fair, if you had a lot of soft locks, and it wasn't, like, called oops, all soft locks, I probably would want to do something about it. Which hack? Trip Brookle? It's French for thingy thingy. I can look up the name if you want. That's why you'd have such, like, it's a smart move, in all honesty. Like, it basically removes one of the key things that would make me reject your hack, which is I got stuck in turn blocks somewhere. So, yes, that. Thank you, Kappa. It is so cool. It is a really good game. I moderated it. I was very, very proud of finishing that. It is a hard hack. And the puzzle at the end is also really hard. That one... What was it? I made one mistaken assumption at some point, and I ended up spending a lot of time rat-holing. Play BK, and then you had to play it? Yeah. Hope you get to play it someday. Don't let your memes be dreams. Because the phase where he just jumps. Had to try. Just wanted to know if it would work. Not worth it. That was a fun game. Yeah, I think last year my sort of impetus with hacks was moderating hacks was I'm not doing any really big ones. I have to look at my numbers, but I think I'm like, no, I'm not doing any like 90 exit hacks. I want a break. This, I guess, was the key exception. I never finished the damn thought about bosses in I Want to Be the Guy things in Dan Silvato's game. Anyway, to make an incredibly long and meandering story, in Dan's game, instead of you get a hit by the boss and have to go back to the beginning of the boss fight, you instead just get sent back one phase. And because the phases are unequal in difficulty, it's frequently the case where you will reach an effective checkpoint. In the case of the level 2 boss, there was a specific like demo scene spiral attack that most people, once they do it once, would never fail a second time. But you could still, if you got hit, go all the way back to the start of the boss. And then at GDQ Summer, if you beat the first... Oh, good. If you beat the first level in under like 5 minutes with 0 deaths, that includes the boss, you qualified to play the like unlimited boss mode, the insane level, where Dan had just removed all of the limiters. So basically there's a limit to the number of bullets that would spawn any given phase, and yeah, it was bonkers. Only 2 people, as far as I know, cleared it. Trash Lord Oscar and the Beast. Told the story recently. Echo Ravana got close, but got sick and then they couldn't finish it. It was unfortunate. The morning sun has vanquished the Palace of the Shadow. What terrible trials await our hero yet. Thanks for the GGs. I have to remember I beat that one. This Tapper, that was pretty... Oh, I get it. That's why it's root beer. What time is it? Oh, we got time for a bit more. What is this one? Heavy G. Falls from great distance may break your bones. Ah. Oh. I gets it. I did the right thing on purpose. There was that one Hack Jam entry, or Quack Jam entry that wasn't finished and had this property, which was really... They're yellow, you... Hate yellow Koopas. Right, okay. Alright, my standard jump height does not kill me. So I should be able to just run off here. Balls. Okay, I got the moon. I didn't think this through. Mega Man music? Sounds familiar. Love the ASM for this. It says fall damage. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was the thing. Was I didn't need to pause for regrab. In fact, I didn't need regrab at all. Pinball something? Oh, weird. I'm glad I was on the ball there. Okay, what am I looking at here? I think just this. That was easy. Where was my brain about that? Yeah, that one that didn't finish had fall damage for a bit, and then it just didn't work on SD to SNES, so I had to play it in SNES 9X because it was broken. It was a unique experience. But the fall damage, the idea is like you would get Metroidvania like upgrades, and so like fall damage would be one of them eventually. Cake dealer to Cocoa Cavern. I don't like the word dealer when I see it here in an SMW context. All of this seems oddly familiar. Press on, cake dealer. Not gonna be so easy this time. I picked up a few things from the hotel. Oh. Oh, I remember Cake Dealer. I played this level. What? Cake. What are the boxes hittable? Ow. Hate it when they do that. Yeah, I hate it when they throw hammers at my face and then I die. Oh, I'm being... It's a race! Oh. I did not understand that. Oh. I won. Cool. This took forever to work. I didn't realize he was a keyhole. Oh, the cake is sticky. I legitimately did not expect that to work. I want to see the rest of the level, I guess. I'm not going to pick up the cake. I just want to see the rest of the level. I don't care. Oh, it doesn't start moving until you grab the cake. That's good. This is moderation due diligence. Just, like, see the rest of the level to see that it is level. Yeah, it sure is level. I imagine I probably had the easiest time of anybody that, because I didn't realize what I needed to do yet. These are solids. So, what happens if I touch that? Can I touch this? It took me back to the beginning. I guess I died. Alright, cool. Directly on that platform then? Okay. Well, that was cool. We did that. Alright, what do I want to do now? So much space. I am not a super freak. Yeah, well... Alright, we'll do apple joke. I like apple jokes. It's not an apple, it's a tomato. Oh, wait, no, it's a delicious fruit. I wasn't prepared for delicious fruit. Why is the first one kickable? I'm not gonna lie, it would have been funny if the mushroom had also been an apple. Okay, it's Fry Guy. I know how Fry Guy works. Not red. Good to know. I mean, it is red. I don't love Fry Guy. Fry Guy does not love me. Who loves you? And who do you love? Not Fry Guy. Missed opportunity, you added mushrooms later. Fair. I appreciate that you added mushrooms, I'm just gonna say that right now. So the key thing to remember about this apple dealer is he only ever drops apples purely vertically. They never come in with any velocity. So all you have to do to dodge them is not be under them. While knowing this intellectually makes this easier, it doesn't really solve the problem. See? Especially when he swoops in right to apple ya. Dodge the cherry! Also, if any of you haven't seen the I Wanna Be the Guy showcase they did in SGDQ 2025, go watch it. It's so good. That was so good. People definitely have put a lot of work into interesting fan game stuff. And I have not even looked at much of it in the years. I really still should go play I Want a Lockpick. I've been reticent to start, like, long puzzle games, though, because Baba Is You took a year. I do think I might like play Toro Band sometime this week though, because I like Toro Band, and I'm going to try the 16:9 thing. I want an excuse to play with it, but that game might also work in 4:3 because of the nature of the game. The puzzles can never be over a certain size. Okay. Hello. Well, I understand why that works now. I got distracted by the delicious background. You know what this actually reminds me of? It reminds me of the Pringles game. For some reason, at every GDQ, there's a Genesis hooked up to a big ol' CRT that's constantly playing, that just has this Pringles game on. It was made by someone for like a game jam or something. It's fun. Like, as far as adver games go, it's not bad. I'd play it over Avoid the Noid any day. And I've played Avoid the Noid many a time. But, like, it's a score game. Once you... Pringles game background! Yes! Okay, so I was right. Huh. But yeah, it has this tomato background. It's pretty alright. Like I said, as far as adver games go, it's okay. Actually had that discussion with GlitchCat. It was like, no, you misunderstand. Most adver games are really bad. And of course, like GlitchCat understands, he used to speedrun Cool Spot. Cool Spot's not a very good game. I'm not even live. Basically, if I can't beat this... Wait. Fortresses, you can tell if you've beaten, right? I'll check something in a minute. I thought I'd clear that. But yeah, absolute top tier for adver game. Other really good adver games. I think Yo Noid isn't bad for what it is. Like, it's not amazing, but as far as like NES character platformers go, you could do a lot worse. And people have. The Lost Island of Alana was kind of fun, though I generally just have a high amount of distaste for adventure games recycling like standard types of puzzles. Like, don't make me solve another sliding block puzzle, please. Whoops. You know, it can get real tough, but you like it? Yeah, it can, but it gives you a lot of options. Like, that's the thing, is like, Yo Noid eventually, like, if you understand what the extra lives are, and like some of the shortcuts and stuff, and the bonus items you need to bring into the pizza eating minigame, phrase you don't get to say every day, then like you get to a point where like you can kind of start doing stuff. Really cool also. Yo Noid is not the only game that uses that engine. Yo Noid is actually one of like 4 or 5 games that uses that. The other games that do use it are educational for children platformers. I played one of them on stream for a few minutes, but didn't get very far because I didn't know enough words that Japanese children would know and be able to match up to the correct first starting letter. First starting letter, that's doubly redundant. To the starting letter. But it's one of those, like, it's cute for what it is. I'm shocked that worked. What's another good adver game? Oh, yes! Doritos Dash of Destruction is the best adver game. You can play either as a truck, like a little RC car that delivers Doritos to various Dorito-needing places, or you can play as a dinosaur who eats the trucks. I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit asymmetric in terms of how much fun you will have, because being the dinosaur is much cooler, but it's still actually a lot of fun. And as a 4-player game, it actually works. And the price was right. Sweet Tarts 3D game for PC? I never heard about it. Movie games do not count. So an adver game must exist to advertise an existing commercial property, but not be like a tie-in, if that makes sense. So like McDonald's is an advert. McDonald's in McDonald's Land, whatever that one was, is an advert game. But like, yeah, Page Master, the adventure game, or Monsters Inc. is not. That's my criteria, and I think Moby Games uses something similar. And also, typically, these advert games were incredibly cheap. Like, typically less than $5, maybe. And remember, this is PC games in a certain era. I don't know why I fell off. Like, The Lost Island of Atlanta was basically free. It was free. You basically you could either download it directly from the website, if you had enough bandwidth to download like a 30 megabyte executable. I didn't. Or you could send away, and they would give you a copy, send you a copy via the mail. I wish I'd kept it, because the CD is a weird little relic of a weird little time. M&M's, The Lost Formulas, surprisingly good, because it's Crash Bandicoot. It's literally just like Crash Bandicoot style gameplay. It shouldn't be as good as it is, and it was legitimately fun. It's also an educational game, because every few levels you stop having fun and playing Crash Bandicoot, and instead do math. But yeah, another like really weird little one. I'll stand here. Hug wall. But yeah, that one came out for like both PC and PlayStation. So any other advert game I was chomping at the bit to play? I still want to play Darkened Sky, which is an advert game where the principle of advertising is you use Skittles to power your magic. I actually don't know that much about it. I think it's a third-person action-adventure game, but I'm not entirely sure. I did play Sneak King once. Sneak King was actually pretty fun. I even watched a documentary about those Burger King games. The studio that did Fusion Frenzy, which was sort of a Mario Party-esque game thing, basically was between projects. Microsoft didn't want them making Fusion Frenzy 2 for some reason. They'd chosen another studio for that. And they're like, but we have an opportunity here for you to make this. And they were like, okay, sure. And so they made Sneaking, Big Bumpin', and one other game I've forgotten. Sneaking is kind of a stealth game where you sneak up behind people as the Burger King King and deliver them food. And basically it's bizarrely also a score game. So your goal in the game is to get a high score, and part of that is, doing the proper QuickTime event to deliver with a flourish, but also just not getting caught and having a pretty quick time getting over there. Fun for what it is. But what's really interesting about those games is they're the only games that exist that are dual boot. Xbox One and Xbox 360 and Xbox Classic. God, Fry Guy. And Microsoft had to do a little bit of work to make that work. In effect, what they did was, instead of... because they couldn't really change anything on people's old school Xbox, and so what they did was they issued it. Didn't realize it might be a PB actually. Never thought about memorizing the attacks. This is not random. I definitely do these things sometimes. Oh yay! This is appropriate. What's up, Friday? How you doing? Oh darn it! I'll just hang out up here for a little bit. Yeah, I figured it couldn't last. It's a strategy, though. Okay, then I can duck here. Keep getting got by those. Oh, man. Sup, Simon? In case I didn't say sup earlier. I think you might have been in here earlier. It's been a longish stream. Not as long as the one I intend to have tomorrow, but still longish. I get by that delicious fruit too often. Dodge the cherry! Ah! The worst part is, I know I don't need that mushroom. Yeah, one of the fan games was a rendering of Parappa. The rap with Master Onion. Chop chop, Master Onion. And, yeah, very cool. Though there was some disagreement between Chop Chop and Parappa as to what the delicious fruit is. Is it an apple? Is it a cherry? Who knows? Aside from the guy who made I Want to Be the Guy, I guess. He might know, but he isn't telling. Last night you learned a human could hypothetically survive in the Toho universe. Under the assumption Toho universe rules apply while you're in it, you can, in fact, learn flight and magic. Huh. Are there any Toho characters who don't fly? I assume all of them do. I'd assume you could survive without magic. Honestly, I don't know enough of the Toho actual lore to make any sort of reasonable statement here. I mean, because, like, Toho lore is mostly character-driven more than anything else. No. Human village full of ordinary humans? Oh, well, today I learned. For some reason, I was also thinking of another kind of similar-ish game. I don't know if any of you played it, Death Smiles. There's definitely an aspect of weird magic stuff going on there. And there are humans, but humans... What's the trick with that? Over. No, I don't want to stand here. Ow! Almost. Stand further over than I think I need to. That also has one of the best names of any final boss in any video game ever. It was something like High Imperator Lord Tyranno Satan, who is like a demon made of bones and stuff, who does at least have some dinosaur-like aspects. Like, you don't forget a name like High Imperator Lord Tyranno Satan. There's also Bloody Jitterbug, and I think in the sequel there's Pigeon's Blood Jitterbug, which is one of those what does that even mean sort of things. Which I can actually tell you what it means, because I know what it means. Pigeon Blood is the reddest of red that rubies can be. Why? Don't know. Just what the ruby people decided. Fizzled, fizzled, good! Hey, you didn't go away, Apple. Ah, whatever. Oh, they're floppity fish, I get it. Save! Alright, we'll do this castle. The joke is eternal. Oh, hello. What was the name of the castle? What is going on? Hi, Charlies. I guess this is a survival room? It's the night of the Chargin' Chucks. The joke indeed is eternal. Ah! Am I supposed to be doing something? Alright, what was the name of the level? SuperFreak. Remember strong, she can one-shot charge and chucks. It's true. It's all in the character sprite. I'm a charging my spell card. None of them on screen after some time? It's I see what you mean. It's the sprite thing. There we go. Hello again, Matt. Oh, what is this guy's deal? Oh, you know, he's happy doing his thing. Or he's not. Oh, he's destructible. He's Kirby. He's Kirby, isn't he? Well, I need to test the midway anyway. Yeah, he's Kirby. I could tell. I could tell by the Kirbiness of him. The fact that he's pink, he's round, he's Kirby. This might make no sense, but this is clearly the Kirby boss that exists on SMW Central. Interestingly enough, I've always found the Kirby boss to not be terribly difficult, and much like the Big Boo boss, completely defined by his arena. Like, if the arena is hard to work in, he's a hard boss. Otherwise, you know, he's predictable. He's Kirby. Yep. There's a timer that's just a coin going right. Oh, that's funny. What other really good advert games are there? Not many. Oh, there's a taco... Oh, for Pete's sake. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of It reminds me of Snyder's Chuck Magnet script for Project Carl, where it will periodically drop chucks on my head. Worst part is, even if you jump on enough chucks, you'll never actually get a 1-up. We're reaching issues with sprites per scan line. Dang it. Did you know you can only have so many sprites on any given scan line? Once you run out of sprites on a given scan line, it just renders them as empty squares. The reason for this is fairly straightforward. You have to spend time to look up all this stuff. You have too many sprites on a given scan line. It won't. The NES's limit is 8. I forget what the limit on the SNES is, but it's substantially higher. Kirby boss used to just hard crash ROMs? Really? Huh, wonder what the fix was. Nothing quite like having a chuck drop on your head within the first few seconds of the fight. 16. I read that manga once. At least I think it was 16. It might have been 17. Man, that was a trip. You had all sorts of interesting issues, like a chicken breast growing an eyeball and becoming a sentient chicken man. Said chicken man lobotomizing himself because he wanted to be with a chicken. The President of the United States naming his kid America. Also, the kid has green hair because of global warming or something. Said child getting onto a spaceship to go to another planet. And then other children on the spaceship turning into dinosaurs. I don't really understand why that happened. Everything about that manga was weird. There's no part of that where I could say, yes, that made sense. And the ending was a complete, like, non sequitur. Because, of course, at some point these things have to end. Absolute non sequitur. Stupid bug. You are not expected to understand this. Dang it! I should have been asleep 4 hours ago. You're working on the flishability logic. 35 checks, but the logic complex enough to warrant the time spent. I'd believe it. Blaziken mentioned. What? Did I mention a Blaziken? Oh, Chicken George! Yes, I can see where you get that. Honestly, the start is so good. Got that kind of nice, like, cyberpunk dystopia thing going on. It's just, it gets so weird. Can I hit the chuck I want to hit, please? How many hits is this guy gonna take? There we go. Oh, that is something. So was it 17? What? None of those. 14. It was 14. Sorry. Horror science fiction. What a trip. The so-called SuperFreak is only a distant memory, thanks to Mario's power. Or Ramu's power. Onward, hero! I was going to mention about this. So I was trying to find a specific Russian song that was used as the end theme of Night Watch, which is a pretty decent Russian film. I'm playing like one more easy level. Yeah, Lemonade. And I find something, I find the artist, and it's Rosalina time, apparently. And I find a track by him, and I'm like, okay, cool, I found a track by this dude. I listen to it, and it sounds like Can't Touch This. Turns out it wasn't. It was actually SuperFreak. I didn't realize at the time that SuperFreak and Can't Touch This actually use the same backing, a very similar sounding backing track, which is to say, Can't Touch This absolutely sampled SuperFreak. To be fair, SuperFreak may also have been sampling something. But, oh. What is this fight? Why are we doing this? Oh no. Ah, I got stuck! That doesn't happen in a long time. Oh, one golf. Huh. Yeah, it's stuck. It's just hard stuck. That sucks. Can I fix it? What's up, Blueberry Bunny? Let's loop back, I guess. This is the easiest way to fix it. Even if it is SA1. I don't know why that failed. It's... Oh, it's completely knackered. Ah! Curses. That hasn't happened in a while. Okay. There we go. Indeed, they destroyed the world. What if it was SA1 instead? It was SA1. I looked over, and I saw that the LED that tells me whether or not the USB is working was off. The thing that was saying whether the SA1, that's basically like the I/O light, and it was off. It was just off. It was dead. The interface was dead. The interface is still dead. F and A. Apparently the interface is not dead. Alright, we fixed it. It's still SA1, so I have to wait for the loop to come back around. Please? Should be done. No, it's knackered. Ah. Like, I need a full restart. I only give it a partial restart. Okay, that actually broke the interface. That's a good sign. This time it should work. And I see the I/O on it. That's good. on the note of restarts. Oh, you're wondering if that's coming back? Probably not. I disabled it and it was nice. I liked not having to. I liked not losing progress randomly. Ask a thingy. Alright, so what is the actual thingy? For one, I don't think I'm going to restart Pokemon. But I'm curious what the ask is. This is not the level I wanted. I wanted the lemonade. Lemonada. Mario wants his lemonade. Fun fact. I once, basically, in one hack rejection I did, I actually did say explicitly, this entire level is colored as if it's piss. And I don't like it. It was someone's first hack, so I didn't feel bad about that being feedback, because clearly it wasn't intended as, like, a thing. But it was making me nauseous after a while of staring at it. Boop. Boop. There's Lemonada. Alright, so what's over here? Oh, just friends. What's the difference between restarting a PC and shutting it down, then turning it on again? There's a difference, but no one's ever explained it. There's a few bits of difference. Yeah, Winter got 11. So when you're restarting the computer, it can mean multiple things. It could mean that you're actually, like, soft restarting. When you hard reset, you are sort of randomizing certain things, like RAM gets re-randomized. I need to remember that I can swim fast. That's a wall. This level will be challenging for me. I'm gonna have to bait these guys. They swim as fast as I do with the fast swim. That or they get the... No, he doesn't get that treatment. There we go. The difference for a modern PC is pretty immaterial. Like, it's basically what you're doing is, like, shutting it down and bring it back up. Not really. I mean, yeah, why in the world would I ever come in here? This sucks. Alright, key differences. One, when you actually power cycle, certain elements will have to recharge. So, like, oftentimes when you're power cycling, they'll tell you to turn off the PC for a certain amount of time when you want to give it a really good reboot, or even any other device. Because basically you want time for the capacitors to run down. Capacitors can only store so much charge, and if they run out, then that can help with, like, a full reboot process. When you're doing a reset on the Super Nintendo, it's more or less the same thing. The key difference here is I'm rebooting the cart itself, which is important because when the USB breaks, it needs to get fixed. So when that interface breaks, it's important that I come back up, and rebooting it does make a difference. Pro fishing tip: you can catch fish easier when you remove the water. Huh. Yeah, I guess that's true. But for a modern computer, I think the answer is a lot more complicated. The thing is that it's the same thing on the SNES. Provided you're not using a fancy flash card. Let's say you're using Donkey Kong Country. If you reboot it, the difference between power cycling and resetting is immaterial. It'll always jump to the reset vector. The thing is, you can trap the reset vector if you want to once you've started. And so, like, it can be different, and there are some games that do stuff with that. Like, there's a Genesis X-Men game where if you get to a certain point, there'll be a computer's like, you need to reset the computer! And people get stuck there forever because they can't do anything. And the answer was you reach over and hit the reset button on your Genesis. Because it's just an interrupt. You just choose to service it differently. Oh, there's water. Good idea. We use dynamite. Mention the mole's spawn time being dependent on submap that they're in. That really interested you. But Hem Brothers are also dependent on that? Really? When he levels became easier that? Huh? That's interesting. Yeah, that's an uncommon interaction. One of those, I only know about it because of OLDC reasons. I still want to know who made that the fake OLDC level with the pinball. I had fun with the thumbnail for that, by the way. For the vast majority of the CLDC things, I basically just slapped the logo on there. Woohoo, I made it. Goodbye, fish. Sound like a joke? Nope, it's true. I mean, an awful lot of things, when you want to like have certain different behaviors and different things, it's really easy to just have like one spot to look and be like, oh yeah, you're in the major world? Oh, then we do that. You're in the minor world? Nah, we don't. Yeah, modern Windows is even weird. Any other like easy ones that are near the beginning to do? Like I missed in this set. I know the Wiggler one's sitting over there. I don't think I did this one. When are you gonna stop caring about identity spoilers? Like my own identity or identity in general? Yeah. Oh, it's doing the thing. I don't know why. Yeah. This is a very minor bug, but I always find it a little bit annoying. Is like the jumping and other sounds don't play well together in certain instances. Oh, CLDC leather. I think like my identity. Like people know. Some people know what I look like. Like Glitch Cat knows what I look like. That's not a problem. Basically, I'm going to stop caring about spoilers once I finalize my numbers. So, soon. Like, I have maybe another... Oh, right, I can wall jump. I have a little bit more work to do. Can I go up here? I want to get up here. Up here. Nothing. A little bit more work to do, but I'm going to try to turn in the sheet tomorrow. This castle is mine! Waha! Oh, it's Wario! It's that boss. Okay. Oh, I get to sit through the intro. I needed to test the midway anyway. Oh, there's a moon up there? Oh, did I get the moon? Back shot! Whoops. You know, if it jumped out of that, that would have made me unhappy. Ah, Freak City. It's been a while since I've been to this spot. Cat, have anything to say? Wario sure pinched his last penny. Nice work, Rosalina. I like the cat. I like the cat. All the way left. Whoops. Do I want to do it again to get the moon? I don't think I do. Ugh. And I did all of the ones in here. And I'm continuing my rule. Okay, good. That does appear broken. Yeah, I just need to keep my ghost houses surrounded in the event that I want to make sure they're dead. It's very important. That was weird. Mario showed up in a different spot on the screen than I was expecting him to show up. Did I do the castle? I think I did. No, I don't think I did. All right, we'll do this one. This will be the last one we do. Oh wait, no, I did do this one. I know exactly what this is. I did this one. It just didn't explode because it's a different sprite. Hard to keep track of these things. But yeah, I should go to bed soon. Banana Bridge. Banana Bullseye! I don't want... Oh. Well, okay. This is presently a dead end. I guess we'll just do this one. Yeah, definitely didn't remember that. Hey, this level matches Rosalina really nicely. Oh, hello. Rude. Quite rude to the body. Dang it. I keep wanting to try to do something silly here and it's not working. Nope. Who else matches this level? Sonic? Oh, Knuckles. Clearly Knuckles. And Knuckles. And Knuckles. Knuckles. Endless knuckling down. Give me a moment to think in the... Tails. Subscrumbular. Oh, this has been the most contested, like, actual time for this. I keep getting surprised when people are like, no, it's time to fight over characters. Like those yaoi shippers. Oh, whoops. I'm glad I stayed right here for a moment. Reminds me they announced Rosa for getting added to Switch 2 version 1. I saw that! Mostly because Author Blues posted a thing saying... What was it? Why was there no footage of Elephant Rosalina in that trailer? It's like they don't want my money. Speaking of people who put their preferred fetish in their video game. Dang it. Yeah, no crash. I did fix a major crash, but it's one that didn't affect... Oh, actually, no, that did affect SA1. I fixed it. There were 2 major crashes that I fixed that I don't think we'll ever see again, thankfully. And so the percentage of time where it will fail is much lower now. One was a bug where I was loading a value from the wrong place because I had written my assembler wrong. Which was embarrassing given how long the assembler was there. I had arguments in Python. Oh, come on. The way my assembler works is I write the code in Python, and then... Oh, I was right at the end, too. But yeah, I write the code in Python, and I use different overloads, sort of. Different default variables to determine what I'm supposed to do with a given instruction. LDA has a lot of different variants. And it turns out that I had just messed up, and LDA did not do the right thing if I supplied only one argument, which I should never do. I really should make it so that I can't pass implicit arguments, only explicit. And I think I can do that pretty easily, but whatever. Scaling the stones of the stronghold, Mario advances to the sky realm, or Rosalina advances to the sky realm and becomes an elephant. What may lurk above? You want to see an elephant? You visit your aunt, Kapateki. Oof. There we go. POV, you are a burger. Does that mean I'm an American in this? We'll find out later. Thanks for the GGs. That was going to be about flying Wiggler, but it got way too drink. I believe it. Explains why people are being screwed in MOBAs. It's supposed to be a dev fetish. Oof. Oof, oof. Now, I was talking about Hollow versus Robo, and the guy who made that has a foot fetish. It's very evident. It's just who he is. Some people are like that. They just are who they are. Game's good, though, you know. It's Plants vs. Zombies, but with HoloLive and anime. It's fun. It was worth the $6. Anyway. Normally your name trips people up the other way? And feet, yes. And feet.